Top Billin, breaking news out of Columbia, South Carolina, where I don't know if you want to say shockingly, it's probably shockingly given the circumstances of a pandemic and everything like that, but your man Will Muschamp has been fired from the University of South Carolina. Ain't that crazy, right? Will Muschamp is definitely one of the most, man, I like Will Muschamp, right? I love his defensive prowess. I think he's one of the better defensive coaches in all of college football. If you put him at just a defensive coordinator, I think, man, he could land on his feet at a number of places just focusing on defense. Can't run a team, man, as a CEO. Makes poor decisions on certain things. Have probably a little bit of bad luck as well. But he's just an underachiever as far as a head coach goes, right? So that's underachieving at the University of Florida. That, to me, that's tough right there. It's tough to underachieve at a place like that because of the rich history of it, and you know you will have support from a whole gang of different people that you would want to have support from, and it's a marketable place. So that alone right there was a red flag. Going to South Carolina, I feel a little bit differently. I feel like South Carolina is just one of those places where it's going to be tough for somebody to win consistently. Even a great coach like Steve Spurrier, he had that thing rolling for a little bit, and then it kind of got off track there as well. To me, he's one of the greatest of all time, and he couldn't elevate it to a place where I think South Carolina thinks that it should be at. South Carolina does a great job at producing some serious-ass NFL talent, I will say that, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But Will Muschamp and his ability to recruit, I think, was hampered at a place like South Carolina, especially with a juggernaut like Clemson being in his state and then being surrounded by teams like Auburn, having to recruit against Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, of course. It just seems like one of those teams is just, I don't know, it's just in a rock and a hard place, man. So I like stuff about South Carolina. I love how it was one of the first teams that had like an Under Armour deal. Like they tried certain things. They've had some players like a Jadeveon Clowney, even a Marcus Lattimore. Like they've had some real great players there at the University of South Carolina. But man, I just don't know what type of coach could put South Carolina over the edge. It would have to be some type of coach with some kind of crazy ability to scheme. Maybe if they could have got their hands on a Lane Kiffin or somebody like that. I just don't think somebody like Will Muschamp can do it because he's just not going to be able to recruit to the level that you would need to be to go against the guys that you do go against. So it's going to have to be from a coaching standpoint, and he just does not have it like that. Maybe on defense he has it like that, but even then, man, he cannot field a good offense to save his life. And think about all the guys that he's gone through over the years. He's tried just about everything at the offensive coordinator position. He even has Mike Bobo there, who is a very respected coordinator, but they just can't get that thing right. So it goes to show you, man, there's a lot that goes into being a successful head coach than just the X's and O's of it. I think it's just a systemic, man, I don't know. I don't feel bad for Will Muschamp because obviously he's paid handsomely to try to coach a college football team in a sport, but I've met Will Muschamp before. He seems like a guy that is just all about some football, man. He's just caught some bad breaks, but he's done, like I said before, a pretty good job as a defensive coordinator. So there are some, if he wanted to work right now, I'm not sure how his buyout goes or whatever like that, but there are some teams even in the NFL that could use a Will Muschamp right now. Like you add him to the Seattle Seahawks to try to get some stuff going on defense. That would be pretty cool, but I imagine he would want to sit down right now and kind of take a step back there. But, man, in the middle of a season during the pandemic, this man is fired. So, Jim Harbaugh, you're probably on the clock, I would imagine. Another coach that I like. I love Jim Harbaugh. Another coach like that probably should be in the NFL. James Franklin up at Penn State. That would probably be tough to fire him because he's had a lot of success, but this is a terrible year for him. So some big-name coaches out there absolutely struggling, but Will Muschamp is the first domino to fall. He gone. So let me know what you think about Will Muschamp being fired already and who do you think should be next. It's your boy Murph, the Underground King, Top Billin Sports. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.